Oh my macaroni and cheese. Yes! Hey guys, welcome back to Oh My Grill. I'm your host Paul, and today on Oh My Grill we have Oh My Macaroni and Cheese for all you cheeseheads out there. That's right, we are going to get down. We're not going to do your average mac and cheese in the oven. We're going to take this pan and we're going to bring it out. We're going to give it that of hickory smoke that you know and love from yours truly. So stay tuned, let's get this thing going. So before you guys joined us, I got that really terrible task of waiting for the water to boil out of the way so we can just jump right in. The water is boiling now, so let's get the noodles in the water and we shall begin. All right, let's shred up this cheese. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna shred up 3 cups of cheddar and 1.5 cups of gouda. I like to get the gouda that's unsmoked since we're gonna be putting this on the smoker anyway. We don't want to double up the smoke. We don't want to make it bitter. No one likes bitter mac and cheese. I like creamy mac and cheese. That's what I always go for. Also, I like to get the block rather than the pre-shredded bags. I don't know, for some reason, I always feel like it melts better. Not sure if there's a reason for that, but that's just how I feel about it. Alright, so we're going to melt up a whole stick of butter here. We're going to start making this roux. Please don't be too harsh on my roux here. I don't cook too much inside, so my roux is not perfect. I definitely didn't have it hot enough, but it still worked. So, ha! All right, and we're gonna add in the flour here. It says about 4 tablespoons of flour. That's what I have written out in my recipe, but I definitely used a little bit more. I think whatever you use in the situation, you know, whatever the situation dictates. Also, I could not find my silicone whisk, so please don't judge me on that one either. These are my pans. I'll ruin them if I want to. My wife is just staring at me really angrily right now. Oh, look, I've come to get the ground mustard, which is it's a little nice ingredient to put in there. It's a tablespoon of ground mustard powder. If your macaroni and cheese doesn't have mustard powder in it, you're not making it right. So stir that in really good, you know, incorporate it with your roux. Okay, oh, I'm going to town on that thing, aren't I? Whew, that's how I get these arm muscles. And now we're going to add in the half and half. This could be 2 cups of half and half. Now, you're more than welcome to use milk. Or you're welcome to use heavy whipping cream if you'd like. You know, it depends on what you like. I think half and half is a good balance. It's also what I had in the house, so that also makes sense. So now we have it. It's starting to. We're gonna let it bubble over here. It's gonna get nice and creamy. Now we're gonna add in 4 ounces of cream cheese. That's really gonna make it. It's really gonna bring up that creaminess factor. Funny story, I'm actually not a huge fan of cream cheese outside of macaroni and cheese. I much prefer butter on my bagels. I don't know. So whisk it in there good. And now, oh, there's the money shot right there. We're gonna throw in all that good yummy cheese of the cheddar and the gouda. And now we're gonna mix that in real good. Nice and slow. Don't splash. You don't want to get a splash of, half and half and half melted cheddar cheese all over your stove. You don't want that. Now let's throw in the rest of it. The reason for doing it in 2 different segments is you want to make sure you don't want to overload it. I know some people say there's no such thing as too much cheese. There is. There absolutely is. It could get gross. Alright, now we're going to add in the macaroni, which I realized at a certain point in here is pretty dumb since I was going to be putting it in a disposable tray. So as you will see here, I changed my mind because, I'm not perfect. And wait for it. I'm sure I'll realize my stupidity any minute here now. And there it is. Alright, so now we're going to get all the macaroni and cheese and the cheese topping all in here, and we're going to give it a good mix. We want to distribute those noodles evenly. We don't want to have uncheesy noodles. That's an injustice that I can't live with. So, stir it up really good here. And honestly, it took a lot. I think we cut a couple times because I kept eating the macaroni myself from the wooden spoon. There it is. It looks fantastic. But now we are still not done. We have topping. So what you want to do is you want to take it's a half a stick of melted butter, and I tried to just mix it in like this while it wasn't melted, and I got frustrated. So I'm just going to ditch the fork here at some point and say, screw it, let's do it with my hands. And there he goes. He is an expert chef. What can I tell you, folks? Classically trained. But this also worked better, I feel like. We made sure we got every piece of panko breadcrumbs with a nice butter coating on them. And that was a half a stick of butter, and there was a cup of plain panko breadcrumbs. I feel like that's better. And the folks at Solely Southern, once again, we wanted to throw a little shout out to them. Put some of that in our breadcrumb topping. And now we're going to sprinkle that topping very liberally over the top. Alright guys, we got everything together. Everything came together pretty good. And now we're going to bring this beefy tray out there, and we're going to put it on the smoker. Probably going to have it out there for about an hour and a half, depending. You know, we'll taste it periodically to make sure that the smoke flavor is not too strong on it. But before we go out there and put it on the smoker, I wanted to send a quick shout out to the guys at Southern Style Barbecue, who actually reached out to us on Instagram, I believe, sending us some of their Southern Style Barbecue dry rub. It's great. I highly encourage you guys out there to pick one up. Give it a taste. It's great. Don't know if it was intended for macaroni and cheese when they made it, but that's what we're using it for today. I've used it on pork chops actually before. Very good on that. But today we're using it on macaroni and cheese. So now let's go outside. So before we get started, I wanted to point something out. Not too long ago, I decided to give these logs, the mini logs, a shot. And one of the perks of these logs is we've already used this log once before, so we're clearly going to get another use out of this. And we only used it for about a half hour, so we're going to get another use out of this, maybe even another one if it's a short cook. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and surround this, kind of usually a minion method, which is light one end and hopefully it'll go around. And we're going to leave this log right in the center, and hopefully that's what we'll get enough smoke on. I'm sure it will. We're using smoking macaroni and cheese. We don't need an overpowering smoke here. Let's get this thing lit. Also, I apologize if we run into some weather here because it looks like it's going to storm. So this video might get a little windy. Might be a little hard to hear me. Don't hear me, see me. Alright guys, we've had it on here for about an hour and 20 minutes. It's smoking up pretty good. We're going to take it off now. We got cheese bubbling on the sides. It's always a good sign. Breadcrumbs really starting to take on a good little crispiness on the very top of it. That's where we want it to be. So let's go ahead and take that off. It's going to be nice, chewy, gooey. Maybe not chewy, but ooey and gooey. I'm going to get some gloves. That's probably the smarter idea. And I'll see you inside. Okay guys, back inside, we have our macaroni and cheese. It is a literally bowl full of Gouda cheddar cheese goodness. So let's put some on the plate. And we will give that a nice little taste test. Rumbling. It is not light. It is not healthy. It is terrible for you. And that's exactly how I want my macaroni and cheese. I want to go into a food coma after I eat it. So when we boil the noodles, make sure not to boil it all the way. You know, usually we boil your noodles for 10 minutes. We cut it off at about like 5. Keep them real super al dente. We know we're going to throw them in there, so these noodles have a really nice firm texture to them still. And so with the salty southern rub on top of the breadcrumbs with the butter, and the breadcrumbs got all super crispy on top, and the gouda and the cheddar mix, it just makes it gooey. It's gooey, it's crispy, it's firm, it's delicious. This is a meal in itself. You guys can add chicken, shrimp, andouille, whatever you want to this. You can make a total meal out of it. I had some steaks aside, so we did that tonight. But this is a great meal or side dish. It's versatile, it's super easy. It took us about a half hour to prep. Guys, do yourself a favor, give it a whirl. I'm gonna go, because I'm going to eat the entire tray. I'll see you next time on Oh My Grill. I love cheese. I'm a Jets fan. I was like, what are you karate chopping me? It is not keto approved macaroni and cheese.